Hey YouTube, it's Tosh from VSG for Baby B. This is my very first video for my channel that's going to document my journey through my VSG surgery or vertical sleeve gastrectomy for weight loss and my infertility and trying to conceive journey. Sorry if I keep looking up in the corner. I have some notes that I'm trying to make sure I cover all my bases. I will try to make this short, simple, and to the point. It probably won't work. Sorry. I'm working on it. I'll apologize ahead of time for the disorganization because I'm sure it's going to be a little jumbled. I am 26 years old from Kentucky, in case you can't tell from the accent. I've been told it's just a little on the thick side, kind of like me. I am happily married to a wonderful man named Corey. We've been married for 5 years and together for almost 12 years now, since we were kids, pretty much. We have a dog named Nessie. She's a miniature pinscher Chihuahua mix. And an orange and white cat named Steve that is humongous and the biggest baby you've ever met. And he's currently in the hallway. You may hear him meowing because I won't let him in here right now so he won't block the camera. I am in an extra bedroom right now that my husband is trying to turn into our home gym. And the lighting is horrible. I'm sorry. Hopefully I can play around a little bit to find like a better place to video. Okay, fertility. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS with insulin resistance when I was 14 years old. I have two aunts and one on each side of my family that had struggled with polycystic ovarian syndrome and infertility. I was in my preteen, early teens when they were both going through their journeys. And so I didn't really know a lot until recently. But all I knew was that they had the same thing I did and they were both able to have children. I did not know how hard it was for them and what all they went through and how much they struggled alone until I had to go through it. My husband and I have been unofficially trying to have a baby for about 5.5 years and officially trying hard for about 3 years. 2 of those being supervised by my gynecologist who does some fertility treatments also in office. I'll go into all of those on a different video because that's a lot to cover. But we made the decision about 8 months ago to not do any more fertility treatments for right now until I decided what I wanted to do, because I struggled back and forth with continuing to try to have a baby or waiting until I was in a better place health-wise. I'm a nurse. I know how dangerous, especially in the labor room, I know how dangerous it can be to have a baby when you're overweight, period, but when you're over 300 pounds. But as much bashing as I'm going to get for saying this, I didn't care. I made all the excuses to say, I could have a bad pregnancy when I weighed 120 pounds. I could have been 100 pounds or 600 pounds, and the drive and the desire to be a mother was so strong. It didn't matter. I didn't care how big I was. I kept saying, I'll get pregnant and I'll do everything. I'll do all the precautions. I will eat everything that I'm supposed to eat. I'll take all the medicine I'm supposed to take. And it will be okay. Because we have people come in all the time that are way overweight and have healthy pregnancies. And then I got to the point where I thought, okay, what we're doing is not working. So I want to lose a bunch of weight. And I have done so many different diets, everything. Grapefruit diet, cabbage soup diet, Weight Watchers, Tops, Pounds Away, you name it. I've tried it, guaranteed. And I will do really good for 3 months. And I'll drop 30, 40 pounds in those 3 months. And then something would happen, sometimes big, sometimes small. Whatever it was, it would throw me off the path I was on, and I would crash and burn. And if I lost 30 pounds, I would gain 40. And I thought, I just need something to get me over that hump. And I want to have a baby. So with nothing else in mind except how much I wanted to have a child, I went to see my surgeon through my hospital for bariatric surgery. And I went to my pre-op meeting and everything was great. And I went to see her and she said, you're an excellent candidate and everything looks great. And I think you can do well from this. But you need to wait 12 to 18 months before you get pregnant. Disclaimer, that's my surgeon. That may not be everybody's surgeon. Check with yours first to see what their recommendation is. But she said 12 to 18 months and I was out. I don't want to wait a year and a half to have a baby. I'll just have a baby while I'm fat and then I'll have surgery. That was 2 years ago. Now I'm 30 pounds heavier than I was then and no baby. So I wish I would have done it then, but hindsight is 20/20. I've learned a lot about myself, about my marriage, about who I wanted to be, the mother I wanted to be, the wife, the person in general that I wanted to become. So I don't want to say I regret it, but I'm okay with where I'm at right now. I, for about the past month or so, have struggled with wanting to have this surgery to help me get past that 3-month hump. I just kept thinking if I could have a tool, something that I could use so that at the end of those 3 months, I can't just throw it all away. I had been going back and forth. Some days I would say, I don't need it. Yes, I'm overweight. Yes, being overweight, not just overweight, but morbidly obese is not healthy. But as far as health concerns, I did not have diabetes. I do not have high blood pressure. I do not have any medical conditions contributed to my weight, except the polycystic ovarian syndrome, which does not come on from your weight, contrary to what some people believe. But being overweight does worsen your symptoms. That being said, PCOS in general makes it much easier to gain weight, much harder to lose weight. Not just an excuse, people. It's real. But I thought, okay, some days I'm healthy, I'm okay, I'm just overweight. I just need to do it. I just need to suck it up and do it. And I don't need surgery. And then some days I would be so depressed and so miserable with myself and thinking I should have had the surgery already. My main concern was having a baby, and that didn't work. So I was always the atypical fat girl, if that makes any sense. I never really had an issue with self-esteem, as silly as that sounds now, because I weigh 330 pounds. But I never had an issue with self-esteem. I was comfortable in my skin. I was okay with being a big girl. I had lots of friends. I wasn't really bullied. I was popular in a sense, so it didn't really bother me. My weight never kept me from doing anything I wanted to do. I played sports. I went to amusement parks. I hung out with friends. It never limited me until I wanted to have a baby. And then the one thing that I should be able to do, the one thing a woman was made to do, I can't or haven't been able to. And it bottomed out my self-esteem. I felt worthless. I was depressed. I curled up in my bed and ate and ate and ate and would watch videos on or TV shows on weight loss. And I remember one day in particular, I was watching extreme weight loss reruns and eating a bowl of ice cream with cookie butter. Who does that? It's crazy. It's like not normal. But it was delicious at the time. And it comforted me. It made me forget about my problems. But I got to the point where I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to socialize. I felt miserable. My husband did everything he could to tell me I was beautiful every day. And he didn't care if I weighed 800 pounds. He would love me just the same. And it just made me mad. It just made me mad. I appreciated that he was trying to help, but nothing was going to help me. I was helpless. I had no drive to do anything. All I wanted was to have a baby. So I finally had a breakthrough, and my focus changed to not just becoming a mother, but becoming me, a person that I've not been able to be. I'm 26 years old. I should be in the prime of my life. And instead, I'm laying in bed moping about stuff that I can't fix right now. I decided with my husband, I talked to him about it, but ultimately he's always left this up to me, that I was going to stop the fertility treatments and focus on myself for a little bit. I wish I could say that I took time to focus on my mental or my physical health. I didn't. I still ate a lot, but I focused on my mental health and getting myself out of the funk that my eating issues and my infertility had put me in. And I decided about a month ago to go through with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, not just for TTC purposes, but for me to see who I really am. I'm terrified, absolutely terrified, but I had my little breakthrough and realized I can't just be afraid my whole life. There are worse things than being afraid that you will fail at something. There is being afraid that you will fail when you had another option and you didn't take it. I don't want to wait 10, 20 years and say, I wonder if I'd had that surgery, if I would have been able to do this, if I would have been able to go ride go-karts with my husband and not just stand there and say, I don't want to, I'm nauseous. Make up any excuse in the world. If I would be able to say I was able to go bungee jumping or able to go zip lining and not be afraid that I would just fall to my death. Very real possibility. What if I could say I was able to have a baby of my own? Or if not, I was able to adopt and to be a good mother to my children. That's not to say that you can't be a good mother when you're overweight. Not at all. But for me, I feel like if I didn't do this, if I don't give this every bit of effort, every possible ounce of strength, if I don't put it into bettering myself, am I going to regret it down the road like I regret not having the surgery 2 years ago? Probably. So, that being said, I am going to document this journey, hopefully, through my vertical sleeve gastrectomy. Of course, I have not been approved yet, so I still have a few months. Hoping around September is the goal that we have, depending on insurance and my work schedule and when they'll let me off work to have it, considering it's an elective surgery. But as long as everything goes okay, hopefully around September I can do this and document my journey up to that point, going through my pre-op, going through the surgery, my post-op. I'm really excited. I'm really anxious. I'm really scared. But I'm excited and determined. For those that may be watching this for TTC purposes, of course I cannot do anything in that spectrum until after the surgery. But I will still be going through different PCOS related issues and procedures throughout this VSG journey as well. So I hope that doesn't scare you off. If it does, come back and see me in a year when we're talking about the TTC, see how far I've come. I hope and pray that this reaches somebody who may have been like me and may have been online searching for videos or blogs on someone who is around the same weight, same age, doing the same thing for the same reasons. Because I searched for that. And there's not a whole lot of options. I am feeling very vulnerable, but nothing good ever comes from staying in your comfort zone. Somebody told me that recently, and I loved it. So if I can break out of that comfort zone and not only help myself, but help somebody else, then this will every bit be worth it. So if you all are interested in seeing how this journey goes and learning more about me, not just who I am, but who I am in regards to VSG or TTC, infertility, Southern Charm, you never know. It could get wild. So if that is something you're interested in, please subscribe down below and leave comments. Let me know how horrible this video was. It's my first one. I'm sorry. It'll get better. Tips on how to make these videos better. Video ideas, something you want to know, questions, anything. Leave them down below. I can't wait to hear from you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.